welcome back to FAMtastic Fertility. In today's video we are talking about sleep and how to best optimize your sleep to really support your hormones throughout your menstrual and ovulation cycle, because sleep is so important to healthy hormone production. You know, it's not just about nutrition and exercise. Sleep is one of the biggest components of healthy hormones, and it can be a really effective way to, promote hormonal health if you are facing some challenges. But I know that that's not always an easy thing for people to do, so I am here to provide you with some sleep tips so that you can, go ahead and implement some of them and see if they work for you. Now, before we get started, I do want to say that I have actually been really involved in this whole sleep thing for quite a few years now. I have a separate channel which is all about ASMR videos. Those are videos specifically made to help people fall asleep, those who may be suffering with things like anxiety or depression or insomnia, and that's what I've been all about for quite a few years. And so making those videos, for that purpose of relaxation and just de-stressing and meditation and falling asleep, that has really taught me some great things, and I want to share them with you right now. So my first tip for better sleep and optimizing the sleep that you already have is 1. Turn off all screens at least an hour before bedtime. I know, that can be very challenging, but the blue light that you see in your screens of your devices can actually have an effect on your cortisol levels. So when your brain sees that blue light, it elevates cortisol to keep you awake and alert, and it minimizes melatonin. Melatonin is the sleep hormone that your body needs to kind of get started with sleep, and it should be produced in healthy levels as the sun goes down and it gets dark outside. But when we're indoors, with our electronics and our lights, that can keep our cortisol production up higher and limit our melatonin production down lower, so that we're actually not getting tired when we should be. We're not getting that cue from our brain that we're getting sleepy and tired and we should go to sleep. So turning off those screens, eliminating that blue light for at least 1 hour before you go to sleep is an excellent way to kind of allow your brain to give you that melatonin cue in a healthy level so that you can go to sleep more easily. Now, if for any reason it's not possible to turn off your screens an hour before bed, another choice is using a blue light filter app. And there is one available, and I believe it's available not just for phones, but I want to say it's also available for tablets, and it's called the Twilight app. The Twilight app is a blue light filter app which you turn on, and it syncs with the sunset and the sunrise in your local area, and it'll go automatically, and it will filter out the blue light in your screen. Here's a picture of what it looks like. I'll show you a screen before and after the blue light filters on it. It kind of shows up as being a bit reddish, but what it's doing is it's eliminating that blue light, and so having a blue light filter on your devices can help to, again, promote that melatonin production. So top choice, of course, is to just turn off screens, but if that's not possible, then the blue light filter can help. Another strategy that can be really helpful is getting some blackout curtains. Now, blackout curtains are just regular curtains that have a thicker fabric built into them, or maybe not necessarily thicker, but a denser fabric, so that it keeps the extra sunlight or street lights out of your bedroom while you're trying to sleep. So you can just buy those on like Amazon. I'll leave a link down below actually for the ones that I have. There's some on either side of my window right behind the camera right now. I use them almost every night, and they really do help to just darken the room. And the reason why we're trying to darken the room, again, it's for the same reasons that we've talked about with melatonin and hormone production. So having those blackout curtains is a really simple way and easy way to eliminate a lot of the light in your room. Going along with that, you can also put little pieces of like black electrical tape over any like blinking lights that you have on any electronics, or you can just totally turn them off if possible so that there are no lights on them. But I know a lot of people have little lights in their room on devices, and so just a little bit of electrical tape over right where that light is can be helpful to just block off that little extra bit of light and create a dark environment. And as humans, you know, that's how we've evolved. We've evolved to sleep in dark environments where there's not a lot of extra light and certainly not a lot of blue light, which can keep us awake. Now, in doing this, we're actually working toward regulating our circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is, again, that rhythm of cortisol, melatonin, and I'm sure a few other hormones that develops throughout the day in response to sunlight and moonlight. Our circadian rhythm is essentially what tells us to sleep, what tells us to wake, and at what times. So in the morning when the sun comes up, typically our brains are stimulated to produce more cortisol to help us wake up and feel alert, and at nighttime when the sun goes down and there's just moonlight, that's when melatonin should be kicking in to help us fall asleep. Now, another tip that can be helpful is eliminating caffeine. So caffeine usually comes, you know, in coffee or in soda, and sometimes even a little bit of it is in chocolate. Now, I know that this can be a real struggle for people, especially if they are, you know, really into drinking coffee daily and even multiple cups of coffee daily. And to that, you know, I can't give specific advice about how to cut out coffee effectively. I can only share with you my experience and what I've read and heard from others. For me, I was able to just stop drinking caffeinated coffee, and I simply switched to decaf. So I like coffee for the taste, and so switching to decaf was fine because I didn't really need that extra energy that it gives you. And the reason for cutting out caffeine is because, again, shocker, it has an effect on our levels of cortisol, and it can be anxiety inducing drinking a lot of coffee. So by cutting it out, we are really able to help, you know, soothe our hormones a bit more, and our brains can respond better to those melatonin cues at night when we should be sleeping. Now, I found out from a sleep clinic the rest of this information, which I'll share with you, which is go to sleep at night only when you're actually tired. That way you are allowing your brain to associate your bed with sleep. Leave your bedroom just for sleep and being intimate, because that way, you know, you're not associating your bed with other stressors like having to work. So if you do run an at-home business or you work remotely, try not to work in your actual bed or in your bedroom. Try and, you know, find a desk around the house or another comfortable chair that you can work from during the day, so that you're not associating that place with those anxieties or that need to work. Wake up at the same time daily. And this one can be a bit harder, especially if you want to sleep in on the weekends. But waking up around the same time daily can really help that circadian rhythm get into a good flow, so that you are getting tired around the same time each night and you're able to effectively fall asleep. That is when our bodies actually manufacture hormones in the greatest quality and quantity. So by optimizing your sleep, that can be a huge step for optimizing your hormones for either, you know, better cycles or clearer biomarkers as we're doing fertility awareness charting, or you're working on your health for either avoiding pregnancy or achieving pregnancy. It's all wrapped into one. And getting better sleep is just one of those core components of health. Another note that I'll add in is that it's important for people, and menstruators in particular, to get at least 7 hours of sleep every single night. Like, absolute bare minimum. Like, if you want to work on improving anything with your cycle, you absolutely need to start by getting at least 7 hours of sleep every night. It's actually more optimal to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep, because sleep is when our bodies produce our hormones in the greatest quality and quantity, and so by really optimizing and getting better, longer sleep, we can optimize our cycles. So guys, that is my advice. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions or other tips to share with people about getting better sleep. I think that with our culture, you know, sleep is always the first thing to be sacrificed when we have other obligations coming up, and really it's so important. It's such a big piece of self-care and, you know, taking care of your body and your mind. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.